Alright, so I am out here on a hunting trip. Decided to take a break. I'm out here deer hunting. Decided to take a break and decided it was time to sight in my .22 rifle for squirrel hunting out here. And let me show you what I've got. This is the Marlin Model 60. Actually, it's the Glenfield Model 60. Around 1980-ish. And on it is an old low-profile 6-power Redfield scope, and it is circa 1970-ish, somewhere in there. The scope actually came off of an old, it was a Remington 700 in a 6.5 millimeter Remington Magnum. That's what this was originally on. Took it off years ago, you know, replaced the scope and all that stuff. So I've had this for a while. It's a great little scope. From 1970, so we're looking at 50 years old, and it's still, you know, it still holds true. Yeah, so you can see it has the longer tube. It has the deal with this stock. You can see where, you can hardly see it now, but it had cracked all the way around here. And I decided, you know, I glued it back together and then I refinished the stock. In the meantime, I had tried a couple of composite stocks, you know, one for lighter weight, one of them had a tactical feel to it and all that good stuff. But, you know, the more I looked at it, it's like, you know, I've got to go back to the original, and the original squirrel stock here, you know. So I refinished everything, and you can see right here I don't know if you can see that, but you can see where that crack went all the way around. And then it also cracked the trigger guard here, the tang on it. And what else have I done to this? I have not replaced that yet. I did look up for the parts. I know the recoil buffer back here, back in the action on the receiver, I had 3D printed that as a replacement, and it's working great. So the thing is still awfully accurate. You know, it's a lot of fun. I've had this since 1980, so I think I'm probably going to go in here and replace springs and all that good stuff. I want to keep it shooting really well because it's always been super accurate for me, and I think this is a pretty good matchup, the 6-power scope with it. So, well, let's sight this sucker in, and then we'll plink around with it for a while. I have this set up. I have that set up at 20 yards. You can see my targets there. I'll sight it in on that first, and then I'm going to move it back over to the corner past this brush, and I'm going to go backwards, and it'll be around 40 to 50 yards. I'll try it on that. But let's sight it in at 20 yards first. You can see I'm loading up, this is Federal Auto Match box ammo. This is target grade performance. I believe it's 40 grain. Yeah, 40 grain solid at 1200 feet per second. And I think I almost lost count here. I think I've pumped about 10 in here so far, but this does have the longer tube. And a lot of guys can't stand these tubes, you know. It's they'd rather have, you know, the rotary mag or something and just carry a lot of mags. You can just pop it right in and load them that way. But this tube, it has never bothered me that much at all, because you can, especially with this one, I can load so many in there that I believe that's about 14. So there's 18-ish. I lost count. And then of course with one So it's 18 or 19. I'll count on the next load. But yeah, I mean, if I've got 18 or 19 rounds in here, that's plenty, you know, for plinking or whatever. And then they have the speed loaders and stuff like that for it. But yeah, the tube load has never bothered me a bit. So I'm going to start with the Federal auto match, and then I'll give it a shot with, I also have this Federal, the Game Shock. It's a 38 grain copper plated hollow point, and I believe, yeah, this is rated at 1260 feet per second. Armscore Precision, these are also 38 grain hollow point. I don't know, the velocity on it. And then of course I have the CCI mini mags, and I have used these for a long time, even way back when, in the 80s. I believe it was the 80s and 90s. It's when I used to shoot this a lot, and then it sat on the shelf forever. But I've always shot these mini mags. I don't know how old these rounds are, but we'll see how it goes. Alright, so let's try to sight this joker in. Alright, so you can see my little targets down there. Sorry for the background noise there, if you can hear that. Somebody's got a tractor across the street, across the highway there. Alright, let's see how far off this is. I haven't even bore sighted this, so I'm just going to go for the bottom target and see if we can dial this sucker in. I couldn't tell. I think I'm high to the right. Oh, misfire. So there's the misfire. Yeah, looks like a pretty weak notch there. So yeah, I'll probably have to replace the springs. I think I'm still high to the right. So with this scope, there's no clicking, no nothing. It just has the graduations marked, so it's kind of hard to tell. So I moved it down and to the left some more. I think it's up. So let's keep moving it down. Oh, there we go. I think that got it dead center. It hit it not dead center. It looks like it was on the right edge of the target. I'm looking at the bottom, very bottom black target there. I'll go for that one again. Boy, that one sounded bad, didn't it? Yeah, so that one looks like, yeah, I think I'm still hitting on the right side of the target, so I'm going to move it just a tad. All right. So that was pretty quick. It was kind of hard to tell at first. But I'm going to go through another round and make sure that at least I'm, you know, somewhere in the center. I think I was hitting, I don't know if it was low to the right. I know it was still edging to the right, so I moved it back a little bit. And, well, let's try it again. Alright, so I got it loaded. Yeah, so the three that are on the right side, there's a black, a red, and then the very top red. It looks like they've been hitting on the right side. I know I had just moved it over a bit more. I'm going to go for the very top one, because I think from the angle of this stand, the ground is really soft, so it kind of moves back and forth, and that's why it's not making the full swing. I think the whole target is jolting a bit. Oh, was that another misfire? Yep, that was a weak, another weak hit. Yeah, I think it's hitting dead center now. But like I said, that whole target, you can see it kind of jolt. Okay, I'm going to go on the left side and get him to swing back around. So those two, it looks like it's a tad right and a tad low. So I'm hitting that inside quadrant, the lower right quadrant of the little target. So let's see. Let's go tiny bit to the left and up a little bit. Well, I think that's dead nuts on. I kind of like that remaining target on the left, he keeps popping back, but it's giving me an opportunity to see where the ammo is you know, hitting on the target. It looks like it's just dead center. So let me empty this tube, finish, and then I'll go over there and see if I can secure that target down a little better. Oh, that was it. Alright, so not too bad for the first round. So here's the target. So you can see, when I very first started, you can see where I was hitting the outside to the right and then low. Now this was the one, for some reason, it would just pop back, right? But you can see where I'm hitting them really close to the center now. That one too. Let's see what these look like. Yep, that was to the inside. That was to the right. Right and low. Right and low. I don't know. Yep, right and low. So that was pretty consistent. So now, this was the last one where I centered everything. Well, I think I'll leave everything over on this side. I don't know if I have any paint. I should have brought some with me, but yeah, so it just jiggles a little bit. But what I'll do, why don't we go ahead and move this out and try it at 40 yards. Alright, so you can see the target down there, dead center. So I marked that off at 40 yards. Alright, so I got it loaded. Same ammo, the Federal Auto Match. Let's see what it does at 40 yards. I'm going to go for, I think it's the second red one down. It goes red, black, that second set. Doesn't have as many marks on it. I'm going to see if I can kind of see where it's hitting when it does hit. I guess I should make a bigger target, one where I can see where it's, you know, centering in at. I mean, these metal targets are fun as hell to shoot, but when you're sighting something in, it's kind of tough. I think it's still shooting to the right. I think that went too far to the left. So I think I've got it between left and right. It's looks like it's on, but I noticed it's varying high and low. I'm hitting the high of the target and then the low of the target, but I think that's me. I'm pretty shaky here on this chair. Yeah, so I think I'm varying high and low, but I think it's me. When I'm on this chair, I'm kind of moving around all over the place. Maybe I'll try it standing up, but I think I'm going to try some different ammo. Alright, this is using the Federal Game Shock. I'm going to see if I can get a closer up to the target there, see if you can see that. Alright, I got it loaded. I went in and put 10 rounds of the mini mags. Let's shoot. Well, I'm hitting them, but they're not rotating. So I must be a little off with the mini mags. Let me see if I can tell. Yeah, that hit, I guess that next red one down, it's hitting on that lower left quadrant, still to the left. That's a little better. Still a tiny bit to the left, so yeah, so I was pelting that red one. If we go up there and look at it, you see it's hitting it all over, but it's just not, it's not spinning them from that side. I probably have the target cocked a little bit over, you know, to be perpendicular. It's actually pointing over here somewhere. I guess I could spin the target over, but still, it's actually hitting pretty well. Alright, so not bad. Between the different ammos, there's not that big of a difference. Maybe a little bit, one was showing a little higher than the other. I did have to move it back to the right on some. I mean, but it was all within the target, right? So we're only talking, you know, an inch difference. But let's go take a look at that target. Alright, so there we go. So you can see where it was hitting left, I moved it back to the right. And these, I guess it was the angle away that's hitting. Remember those last few, I was saying I was pointing at this red target. And you can see it was hitting it almost just dead nuts on right there. Just not enough to get it to swing over. And I think, yeah, you can see where it's pointing. Way over here where the 90 degree is, and I was stationed over there, so we're talking a good, what, 10-15 degrees off of center. I think if it was lined up correctly, it would probably swing over. But not bad. You know, these suckers were dead on here. Even before this one, I was concentrating on these two because they were the least hit, and you can see where I was hitting them. Yep, that was a little right. Cool. These little targets are fun to hit at, aren't they? Alright, so that's a lot of fun, isn't it? It's the old Marlin 60, Glenfield Model 60, with the 50-year-old scope, 40-year-old rifle. But wasn't bad. Only had 3 misfires using this Federal box ammo, the target grade performance. Didn't have any mishaps on everything else, but they all shot pretty well. I guess if I really wanted to dial it in, I should get a paper target where I can really see where it's, you know, where I'm getting a grouping at, you know. But what the hell, those metal targets are a hell of a lot of fun. And but what can you say? What a setup is that? It's a great plinkster to go out squirrel hunting with. I know it's probably not competition grade setup, but it sure is a lot of fun. And I'm going to be hanging on to this for a long time. I think it needs a set of springs. And what else? I think that's it. I'd replace the recoil block back here on the back. 5 or 6 years ago, I just 3D printed the part and stuck it back in there. Works like a charm. I just need to replace the springs, and I might even look at the receiver part, because you can see where the tang broke off there, and I just have a screw holding it together. I could replace that, get the up-to-date hardware. You can see these are just slotted on this, and you can tell where I've been taking it on and off and all that good stuff. I believe the replacement bolts and screws are Allen heads, you know. But a lot of fun. Well, that's it. I just wanted to show the old setup, and it's still good to go and a lot of fun to shoot. So, well, thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe and watch for my next videos. Alright, so I set the target back up at the 20-yard spot, and you can see over there to the tent. Previously I had it sitting right there in that clearing and standing back there along the little driveway of the road. You know, I can go 50, I could probably gone more, 50, maybe even 70 yards max, but I think 40 did the trick. But one of these days, all this brush here is going to be gone. This will be cut tighter. You can see around here on the edges, I'm gonna go all the way up to that wall. It used to be a fence there. But all this is going to be cleared out. All that's going to be cleared out. All this junk's going to be cleared out. Back here, all this needs to go. It's going to be kind of tough to get. I guess I can go around the trees and all that stuff, but you know what I'm getting at is once all this is cleared off, I think it's going to be a good spot for my own little mini range coming back here, where I can set them up over here and shoot from over here or from over here. But I should be able to go from 20 to 50 yards easily, and that'll be a lot of fun.